What up, everybody? It's officially BMF season as we're officially under a week away from the premiere of BMF Season 3. And the last time we saw Meech and T, Meech was just arriving to his new city, Atlanta, and T and Markeisha were getting shot at by Saint. So let me start off with what the narrator, OG Terry, was saying as Meech was driving to Atlanta. He said, "We went our separate ways thinking nothing would change. Needless to say, we were wrong." So with that statement set alone, this lets us know there will be a lot of change moving forward in Season 3. As this is expected, as Meech and T were about to go their separate ways, not having the one person by their side that they know they can always trust, their own brother. So Meech will basically be in Atlanta by himself with no family and really no friends starting off. Because the one friend who Meech did have in Atlanta was Ty Washington, who was killed in a shootout outside of Magic City at the end of Season 2. But Meech does have one ally who he's already met in Atlanta, a local dealer named Dice, who Meech met at Freaknik and was talking business with him at Magic City the same night that Ty got shot. So we can believe that Meech will be doing business with him moving forward. And Meech already has enemies in Atlanta before moving there, the first being an OG named Remy Ransom, the same guy who was shooting at Meech when Ty Washington was killed. We already know that Remy will be a problem because we can see in the Season 3 trailer, Meech get into a fight with him and breaking a bottle over his head. So we know that Remy Ransom will be somebody who has to be dealt with before Meech puts a foothold in Atlanta. Season 2, we were also introduced to Goldie when Meech went to Atlanta. This was supposed to be who Meech was going to be doing business with and cleaning his money through Magic City. But Goldie had to leave town in the closing minutes of Season 2 after killing Big Mike. Goldie said Big Mike was connected with these cats in auto racing that sponsor his. And them cats were tied into the mob. The cat's name was Robert Fulton. And they gonna want to know who took out their biggest earner, which means she had to go ahead and get up out of Dodge. Robert Fulton could potentially be another problem for Meech moving forward because Goldie said if Robert Fulton finds out that you helped me, he will find you and skin your little alive. So because Goldie had to leave town, she put Meech in contact with Rodney Green from Magic City. He's a big timer. He might be the owner or manager, something like that. And he will be the first person in Atlanta to help Meech and T clean their money. The description for Rodney Green reads, a local Atlanta player who's all about making the bag, filled with swagger and entrepreneurial spirit. There's more than meets the eye with Greeny. Now keep in mind the part that says there's more than meets the eye, because this was the same thing as said about Mabel in Season 2. We also know that Meech will start doing business with a guy named Stacks, played by 2 Chainz. His description reads, an Atlanta-born and bred distributor whose wisdom and stature command respect wherever he goes. Fiercely loyal and determined to provide for his family no matter the cost. Stacks lives by the street code and challenges Meech's leadership style. My guess is they will bump heads because Stacks is a killer and Meech don't like catching bodies like that, but prefers to stick to strictly business. We'll also be introduced to one of Stack's soldiers named Payne, played by Lil Baby. His description reads, an eager-to-learn foot soldier out of Atlanta. Now, I've heard a lot of complaints about the rappers casted for Season 3, but I think people need to pump the brakes with that. Because a lot of our favorite power character is unique, played by a Joey Badass, none other than a rapper. And a lot of other people's favorite power character is OG Kanan, played by legendary rapper 50 Cent. So personally, I think 2 Chainz, Lil Baby, and Saweetie are going to kill their roles. Saweetie will be playing Kia, a former college athlete who's now on the streets in St. Louis. This could possibly either be Meech's baby mama, Lil Meech's mother, or she could be playing Meech's assistant, Yogi, who was like Meech's right hand from the time he was in Atlanta until the feds came and got him. Get me to Terry taking over as the king of Detroit. When Meech left for Atlanta, he crowned T the king of Detroit. But as Saint was firing bullets into Terry's car, OG Terry, the narrator, said that a new battle for his kingdom has begun. So we can expect to see war possibly breaking out in Detroit, at least to start the season off. Because Terry isn't like Meech. And he even says in the Season 3 trailer he isn't planning on running things like Meech did. Keep in mind it was Terry who snuck the guns into the meeting in Episode 1, Season 1, and also snuck the guns wherever they went to meet Cena in season 2. At the same time, Meech was always trying to tell Terry that that wasn't his lane. And Saint is going to be a problem, so somebody will most likely have to take care of him. Either though money does talk, and since Terry is the boss of Detroit right now, he might be able to work something out with Saint. But I don't think Terry will be willing to after Saint just shot at his woman. So right now we know that Terry has a few soldiers in Detroit, Stanley Black, Hoop, and Roland, as well as his girl Markeisha, who we know will play a big role in Terry's side of the operation moving forward. I also wouldn't be surprised if Markeisha quits her job and starts working with Terry full-time at whatever business or flop they set up. Also, part of the change I mentioned at the beginning of the video will be Terry getting closer to Markeisha and her putting a wedge between the two brothers. Either though I think this will be gradual and happen over time, not something that happens overnight. Getting me to Charles and Lucille Flannery, Meech and T's parents. Season 2, Charles had an affair with the neighbor Mabel, and Lucille now wants a divorce. Because the Flannery parents are divorced in real life, I'm expecting this to move forward, and the two are going to go their separate ways also. Just adding to the change that Terry was talking about. Some question marks going into season 3 is, will Lamar and B. Mickey be apart, or are they cut out the picture for good? With Meech being in Atlanta now, these could potentially be allies or threats to Terry. B. Mickey was Meech's second grade friend who Terry specifically said he never liked. And in Atlanta, Terry was even screaming for Meech to kill B. Mickey. But Meech spared B. Mick, but put him out of BMF after Stanley saw him talking to Detective Jen. Either though B. Mickey just told her to get away. So if B. Mickey does return, will it be as an op or an ally to Terry? Let me know what you think in the comments. Getting me to Lamar, who instead of killing at the end of season 2, they turned him into a basehead instead. And right before Saint shot at Terry and Markeisha, Terry saw Lamar wandering the streets. So the crazy thing is that Lamar isn't even that far away from where Markeisha got shot, and might try to run up on them and try to rob them so he can get some money to buy some crack. Because just because they turned him to a basehead doesn't mean that he'll no longer be a threat moving forward. The fact that he wasn't killed off the show indicates that they could possibly have a plan for him moving forward. The trailer also shows a new female op who is torching a man with a flamethrower. This also looks like she's a Detroit op that Meech might have to come back to Detroit to help Terry deal with this character. I wasn't able to get any info on this character, so if you do know her name, go ahead and drop the info in the comment section. Getting me to Detective Bryant, who we also know isn't going anywhere because it showed him busting T, and I think it said 2005. So that's still another 15 years away. But keep in mind what OGT told him. Your life is ruined, and I'm a legend. At the end of season 2, Bryant's son killed a kid with the same gun B. Mickey shot Kato and J-Mo with, and they charged him with a triple murder. And from the looks of the trailer, Bryant's son gets killed because Bryant and his ex-wife are at the graveyard. So this might also be how B. Mickey is brought back into the storyline. But personally, if I was B. Mickey with all that going on, I would be on the first highway out of Detroit and never coming back again. And there you have it. Leave your thoughts, theories, and predictions in the comments.